Oh my gosh, guys, it's my greatest. Before I thought I had a great Goldie Roger cosplay, when he seen Laughtail. This is it. This is it right here, fellas. I read this and I laughed. Thank you for understanding, and we hope our community continues to enjoy the One Piece card game. This ban will be lifted on December 8th due to changes in the metagame with the release of OPO 5. One Piece card game team. Okay, before we get into this, how's it going, everybody? My name is Ryan, aka Say It With Me, Blackbeard TCG. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day, and if not, hopefully I can make it a little bit better. Now, look. Okay, so the ban list, it hasn't even been fully into effect yet. Keep in mind, guys, this is not fully in effect as of yet. With that being said, we already have an end date for this list. So this list is literally going to last 1 month. So in case you guys forgot, we were getting the following cards banned November 10th. As the time of this video, it is November 7th, okay? So November 10th, Nami from OPO 1 was getting banned. Edward Newgate Leader was getting banned, and Curly Dedan were all getting banned, okay? And then OPO 3 Marco, 5 cost Marco, was restricted 1 per deck. This was in effect November 10th and was posted on November 2nd. Today is November 7th, so exactly 5 days after, right? 5 days after, they just released this tweet saying that it will be lifted on December 8th. Now, here's the thing. They said this ban, right? Like, some people are like, could you be more specific? Like, could you explain a little bit more? Because again, the wording is very, very poor. So it says this ban. So does that mean Marco is still restricted? Because Marco wasn't banned. Marco was restricted. So is Marco still restricted, or do they mean all of this specifically is just going to be lifted? Like everything in this specific post? Because see, they clearly say banned cards, restricted cards. So are the banned cards going to be up and then restricted Marco? But then in that case, I'm like, does it really need to be? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It might as well just be everything. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I feel like that's not that clear. However, if we just use common sense, they probably mean this part of like the ban list. Now, what does that mean for Radical Beam? What does that mean for OPO4? Not OPO4, 4 cost Marco, right? That's also banned, but that has nothing to do with this post. But as we see over in Asia, those cards are completely unrestricted and the meta is completely fine. Like, it's not dominated by those red decks as much in OPO5. So again, what does this mean, right? It's so weird that, first and foremost, before I dive into it a little bit deeper, agree or disagree, let me know in the comment section below. How ridiculous is it that we have to get these updates through the Twitter? Now, okay, I know it's fine. Like, a lot of people that play card games are probably on Twitter in some form or fashion. Of course, they probably post on other social medias as well. But I feel like these things should all just be on the official page, like with proper documentation, with proper explanations, kind of like how they have with the current ban list, right? They should have it all there rather than just putting like snippets like this on social media. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Agree or disagree? Like, again, I understand getting it out to social media, people can reshare, get eyes on it, all those things. However, I still think that at the end of the day, the core should be their website. They should just post it on the website first with all of the details. And then once everything's posted on the website, then they can make a tweet and direct it to the website. Do you guys agree or disagree with me on that? Because I feel like that makes the most sense, so everybody can understand what the hell is going on, right? And it's not ambiguous like this. Okay, so with that being said, so very clearly they know that the metagame is shifting in OPO5. We all know what the metagame is going to be, which is unfortunate. It's just how it goes, right? We know that the metagame is going to consist of Sakaluchi. It's going to consist of Enel. It's going to consist of Purple Luffy, right? Like, those are going to be the 3 main decks. And then you have Green Yuta coming out a little bit after for set 5.5, essentially. So we know that that's what the meta is going to consist of. Of course, there's going to be Red Purple Law as well. That splash in there. I'm super excited for that deck. But that's what the meta is really going to be, right? So, especially with that Red Purple Law, you are going to maybe want to play Nami. Not maybe, you are going to want to play Nami. Some builds do run that. Dedan, sorry, excuse me, not as much. But the main thing is that we also have to circle back to the products that are being released, right? They just released the new Edward Newgate's alternate art. They just released the starter deck that includes the new Nami art, with Nami in that deck. So in that deck that is coming out, Nami is in that deck. So if you buy that deck, you can't even play with that deck because that deck comes out November 10th, and this ban list was in effect. Sorry, that deck comes out on November 11th, I think. I believe it's one of those days, or November 9th. Yeah, it's one of those days. Like, I think the deck comes out November 9th, and then it's banned November 10th. So then you can't even use your Nami, right? So, like, literally, if someone picks up that deck, it's like, sorry, bro, you can't play the game. Which is absolutely ridiculous. So I think, all things considered, they realized how dumb this was. And a lot of people came out and said that this was a bad list. Like, I think almost every content creator, at least the ones that I follow, like, we were all in agreement to just saying, like, it's not that the bannings were bad per se, but it's the timing. It's the timing of it that was just so dog shit, right? Like, the timing of the ban was terrible. And very clearly, we could see in less than a month, right? November 10th to December 8th, in less than a month, the ban's going to be restricted. So literally, all this is just for the last month of play, for the last couple Treasure Cups, the last couple online tournaments, or in-person tournaments or whatever, for the next 4 weeks, and that's it. Everybody's going to be switching off to Enel, Sakazuki, Luffy, etc. Anyway, which is what people expected. So what's the point of this at this point, right? Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, it just seems so pointless to have this happen now. It would have been way better if this list came at the start of OP04. Again, people would still be pissed. People would still be annoyed. I'm not saying that wouldn't be the case. But would it not be better if at the start of OP04 we got this list? The meta would be completely different, right? And then after that, they could release it for OP05 if they wanted to. Then at least people would be like, okay, like, I can go back and play my Law. Yo, Law players are eaten tonight. Law players are eaten because, think about it, their deck gets nerfed and it's just going to get buffed in OP05. And guess what? Law is still a good deck in OP05. So Law players just have to go 4 weeks with not being at full power, and there are still some Law builds that are good, objectively weaker than the previous version, because, I mean, obviously these cards are really good for consistency and really make sure that you don't whiff, although the whiffing still happens, right? So it's weaker, but it can still be played. I talked about it in my previous video. I still think Law is really good, but it just goes back to full power next set. So Law players, you're eating good, man. Law players are probably the most excited for this, honestly. And so ultimately, overall, guys, I just think that this is friggin' hilarious. Like, it just shows how poorly planned and managed and thought out that this was. And all you can do is laugh. I know a lot of people are already basically done with this set. A lot of people are already testing OP05 anyway, so people don't really care about these next 4 weeks. Honestly, I don't really care too much about these next 4 weeks. I already told you guys the decks that I'm going to be playing for my online events coming up this weekend. I'm just having fun. And then next set, we'll be cooking up with some Enel and some Purple Luffy, right? So, and some Sakazuki, right? So we'll be playing the meta decks next set, essentially is what I'm saying, because the power creep is too strong. So with that being said, I'm curious, what are your guys' thoughts? Did you guys laugh as much as me when you guys read this? The ban list is lifted December 8th. Let me know in the comment section below. I will catch you guys later.